We're Wes, Amy and Rufus, and this is Gigi, our tiny floating 50-foot home, and we're trying to use her to cruise the entire UK canal and rivers network. A couple of episodes ago we arrived in Stratford-upon-Avon, a super popular tourist hotspot here in England. We absolutely loved exploring the town, so after nabbing another silver propeller challenge at the northern end of the river, we headed back to the town centre for a couple more days. If you're new here, Stratford's famous for being the hometown of old William Shakespeare. He's a pretty famous playwright and poet, and so this time we're going full tourist mode and seeing how much we can cram into our last day here.
Why is it so cold today? Some kids are feeding the swans right outside the boat and there's absolute chaos because there's geese blending in, trying to be swans, kicking off. Rufus is there, there's a lot of commotion.
Rufus is actually being very well behaved. It's all gone a bit wrong. The child is now crying because the swan bit her. And the parents are like, oh, it didn't mean to, I'm afraid, child, it absolutely meant to.
I think it bit her leg as well, it wasn't like even accidentally trying to get the breath.
It's a valuable lesson about swans that child has learned today. They might be pretty and cute, but they're horrible.
No! You stay on the tree. Look, they're all turning orange and they're fluttering on down.
Autumn's coming, Amy.
No!
Whoa.
Everyone's there now on a Monday.
I'm quite glad that it was a good amount of busy when we were here.
Yeah, I think we timed it really well.
So, Amy, it's really windy. What's first on our big Shakespeare day?
Picking up some screws.
Mission successful.
New screws acquired for our gearbox plate thing.
The engineer told us to come specifically to Avon Fastenings after we broke down. And for the record, it's really nice in there and they have got like a ton of marine grade stuff in there, so very useful shop.
But now back into town for our Shakespeare day.
Yay! Spotted brunch, methinks. Right, we've just had our nice lunch and other food.
So here it is, Shakespeare's birthplace, the house he was born in. So we're going to go into the museum and see what it's all about. The living memory of William Shakespeare, the foundation stone for the Shakespeare Centre.
It was laid on the 28th of June 1962 by Princess Alexandra of Kent.
So the man himself, William Shakespeare.
Oh, Bill Shake.
William Shakespeare has actually helped to make us who we are today. His plays are performed in theatres, schools and universities, prisons and parks. While we're visiting today, Hamlet is being performed somewhere in the world. It's quite a cool little fact.
That you already knew?
Yeah.
Nice. Shows all the common modern phrases that are
that
attributed
come from
to
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare's work.
That's cool. Assume the position.
Excellent form. It's a Shakespearean cassette toilet.
That'd be easier to empty, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think it would contain the smell as well.
Easier to carry on a trolley.
The dress-up sections in museums only ever has children's size. I'm stuck in the children's clothes.
1597.
This was when he wrote the one that we saw in the theatre.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Do you remember any of the characters' names?
Sir John.
Sir John,
Mrs. Page, Mistress Page,
Ford.
Mistress Page and Mistress Ford. Don't know who that is.
This is a stone from the market that he might have actually touched with his own little hands.
Oh, Willie Shake. Willie Shake.
Imagine affording that. How much do you think that would cost a month now, renting?
Oh, the barbecue.
So we're going into the actual building now.
Yeah. Roadside property.
Old Bill Shake.
Quite a noisy road. That'll lower the value.
Bill of the Thistle.
You thought we were in a bit of a silly mood.
It's still really interesting.
Sometimes me and Wes will be in really silly moods when we go into places.
They start with costumes and a photo shoot. What are you going to do?
Get in the zone. Don't pass up the water point.
That's a silly joke, Amy. Very busy today.
Monday.
Relatable. Welcome to Bill's crib.
That's where we were taking pictures. Here's the front door. I want to open it and say hello to all the picture people.
Were they shorter back in the day?
Yeah.
That is quite a short door.
This is a little extension.
Take a picture. Take a picture.
You can hear everyone squeaking upstairs.
They had a bed in the parlour, basically as a flex because it was the most expensive bit of furniture.
So that's where that was. That was the central. So yeah, we with the bit that we're added on, and then we'll leave everybody else in here.
Actually really big inside. Whoa! I'd love a house like this.
Let's get making some gloves then, lad.
Yeah. They had a little thing where if you visited their house, you just wrote your name on the window in the bathroom. And these are all like the famous visitors that they had to the house.
Wow.
It's quite cool because some people, like some businesses, will take a picture when you visit. They were doing it back in the day.
That's cool.
So we've just been in the birthing room.
That's where we would have actually been born.
In that exact room where we stood. That's pretty cool to think about.
That was really interesting, like going around his actual house where he actually would have been, and a lot of the staff in there are just so full of facts. Like we learned about the fact that they sit up in bed because of the smoke and they all had bad lungs, but also they were superstitious, and if you laid flat they thought that the devil would think you're dead and steal your soul.
This place has been a museum
Since 18 something?
Yeah, because it was the famous story is Charles Dickens saved it from being demolished, but actually, which is a lot of the time how it went down in history, there was actually a lady called Mary Corelli who wanted to save it, but because she was a woman, nobody listened to her, so she channeled all of her
Mates,
Charles Dickens, to save it, and obviously they listened to Charles Dickens.
Go on, Mary.
It was saved.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I have knight's cloak to hide me from their sight.
That was pretty good. It was very much just sort of, here's Shakespeare's house, isn't that cool? But yeah, it's just cool knowing that you are in his actual home. It's got to be done.
It's not the same as putting in a penny.
Yeah, contactless just doesn't have the same vibe. I want to use my rusty old penny, not all these shiny ones.
Yay! It's a bit dodgy.
Rustic.
We've seen Mary Arden's house. Do that note. We've seen Shakespeare's birthplace. Then we've seen a show at the theatre that he worked at or performed at. We've seen Mary Arden's house. We've seen Anne Hathaway's cottage, which is his wife's cottage where he lived with her. Then we are going to go to Shakespeare's new place, which is where he lived for a bit, I think, but then it got demolished, so it's not actually there. And then we're going to go to his death place, his gravestone.
This is Shakespeare's new place. His family home from 1616 apparently. There isn't actually anything there, it's just where it was.
They've made like a garden.
So he lived there, and then they buried him in here. Quite a short funeral.
I think he lived in the Mary Arden's house. No, Anne Hathaway's cottage after, right? No? I don't know.
Don't know. Is this the right one, Amy? Are you sure?
It's very nice, but this isn't the right church where he's buried. Onwards.
So we're on our way to the actual church where Shakespeare is buried, but we've just popped back into the RSC box office because we thought we're only probably going to be here once. So we've booked one last show, the outdoor theatre tonight, to see...
As You Like It.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. And it'll be a nice way to round off our Shakespeare Fest. It's so weird being moored there, because while we're walking around we just keep catching glimpses of Gigi, but it's quite good because you can check on her from ages away. Hey, we're not at the museum anymore. Disengage. Oh, that's a big old church. Just our luck.
So there's a wedding going on inside, so we can't see the grave.
It doesn't reopen for like another couple of hours. But yeah, the grave is actually inside, it's not one of these. Walked all this way.
Congrats, I guess.
Congrats on ruining our day. Pop to the Riverside Terrace to get a cake and eat it opposite Gigi.
Because we're not obsessed with her enough.
This is quite strange though, isn't it? It is really windy though, and quite cold.
I'd rather be inside.
Okay, it is a little bit windy.
We're gonna go inside and have a cake.
See you, Gigi.
So we're this side of the river, the play is that side of the river. It's only right to get the chain ferry one last time.
The better way to cross the river.
It's DJ. Thank you!
Time to go see As You Like.
As you like it.
This is very cool.
Sun's coming out as well, just for it.
That was actually a really good show. I feel like I slightly followed that one a little bit better than the other one. It was a bit simpler.
My bum is really sore because the seats were actually really uncomfortable. But it was
horrible.
good. Yeah, it was cool. Glad we were able to squeeze in one last one. Obviously I had to get some chips to say goodbye to Stratford.
Because tomorrow our time's up on this mooring and we've got to head further downstream down the River Avon. So subscribe if you want to keep up to date with that.
Thank you so much for watching our adventures in Stratford-upon-Avon. We've had a great time. Definitely recommend the town. It's really nice.
Big shout out to the Chip Pals on Patreon as always. Thank you guys.
Check us out on our socials where we'll be posting pictures from our trips. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.